And Jory, another sad sight here in Oak Park. This is one of the many homes destroyed by this fire. And tonight, people in several communities and firefighters are bracing for another day of high winds and more destruction. Melted pieces of debris, burned vehicles. There's not much for residents to salvage at the Oak Forest Mobile Home Park in Westlake Village. At least a dozen homes were destroyed. Mitzi Elkishin evacuated her home at 3 in the morning 2 days ago.
And so I grabbed whatever I could for the last minute because it was really kind of bad. So then my daughter took me in, and my dog.
The 87-year-old didn't know that her home had gone up in flames until she returned to the park today.
Every time something happens, an earthquake or whatever, I always say to myself, I'm very, very, very fortunate and that I have survived.
At Lake Sherwood, a steady stream of helicopters hovered low to scoop up loads of water, making numerous drops along a ridge where the fire continues to burn through dry brush, threatening hundreds of homes.
You can see the flames going up like 10, 20 feet, but the helicopters and the firefighters are doing such a good job. They put it out like right away before it can come down that mountain.
Fire crews are putting out hot spots and using bulldozers to cut lines along steep slopes. Officials are preparing for the expected return of dangerous Santa Ana winds. Residents are also worried about the winds.
They're doing some stuff that you'd like to see, kind of preventive. And that's a good thing, because you just don't know, they're so erratic.
My car's loaded, I'm ready to go.
And that man was one of the Westlake Village residents who did not evacuate, but as you heard him say, he has his bags packed. I talked to a number of people who said they're not going to stay if those powerful winds start blowing.
Fired up for NCAA women's basketball?
Set for Saturday only?
Yes, Saturday only.
Larry Sparks from Tracy is already in line at the Stockton Arena, making sure he gets a good seat.
The guys, they slack off a little bit, but the women, they play hard.
It's the city's first time ever hosting the tournament.
We are just watching the ticket sales creep up every minute.
Wes Ray of Visit Stockton says the city won the bid in 2014 to host the women's Sweet 16 and Elite 8, and they've been preparing ever since. They hope to mirror the slam dunk success of the men's tournament at the Golden One Center this past weekend.
Sacramento did a fantastic job, and they really led the charge here in Northern California. We expect with an event like this to see about $1.5 million to $2 million of economic impact in the Stockton community.
With fans and teams coming to Stockton from all over the nation, hotels saw the need to renovate. Reservations are up.
The hotel will be full. We'll have 2 teams, and our guests are getting the opportunity to visit players as they come in and out of the hotel.
Meanwhile, in the inside of the arena, there will be a big temperature change.
See this ice right here? This is what the Stockton Heat usually plays on. They say it's quite a big transition to get from an ice hockey surface to a basketball court.
Yesterday we started with ice right here. Now we covered it up yesterday. We've been removing a lot of the signage in the arena. And today the basketball floor, a lot of the risers and the carpet will go out today.
By Thursday, the arena will be handed over to the NCAA, where organizers will make the final touches before the games.
We got this. We're ready. We couldn't be more ready for anything I think we've ever done.
And this fan, well, he's ready too.
That's right. This area here has been evacuated, but it's really difficult to see this entire ridge on fire. And we are learning more about the cause, but it's little consolation to those who are living with this heavy smoke and the threat of flames every day. This is what we could see from East Valley Road just after the sun went down. Above Summerland and Montecito, the fire tore through the canyons.
My wife and I are, living moment by moment.
Aaron Salinas and his wife have a 5-month-old baby at home and only live 3 blocks from the voluntary evacuation zone. This man works and lives in Santa Barbara, where smoke has affected everyday life.
I went to State Street. It was quiet, and lots of shops are closed, and places where people usually go to exercise and go out to breakfast and lunch are closed down because their employees are worried about their homes.
Including this woman whose job in Goleta shut down due to the Thomas fire, which is now 25% contained, but still spreading. She counts herself lucky because she's still getting paid.
Day by day, they're letting us know, don't come in tomorrow.
We watched airdrops earlier, firefighters trying to stay ahead of flames.
We're actually returning from down south where we tried to go get some fresh air and visit a friend who just had a baby. but the smoke is now back down there.
My mom had a lung transplant 4 years ago, and so she has pulmonary fibrosis. I'm so concerned. We just left her house just to see what the conditions are like, and it's really bad.
Tonight, SoCal Edison is saying their facilities may have had something to do with igniting the blaze, but the investigation is not complete.
Everywhere you look in Rio Linda, there is water flowing out of Dry Creek and onto the roads.
Last month, it went up about 25 more feet closer to our school. So today, it's flooding, but school is open today.
Principal Paul Orlando of Rio Linda High School says their soccer and baseball fields flooded, but the water didn't reach any classrooms. Still, he advised students to be careful.
To stay safe, don't drive through the water that's too deep to drive through, and we'll get through this today.
Some didn't take his advice. Instead, they plowed straight through flooded 10th Street. The Sacramento County Office of Emergency Services checked the Vernon Street gauge in Roseville to assess the risk for downstream cities. By 2 a.m. Tuesday, water levels there reached critical stage at 12 feet. That meant for Rio Linda, it was only a matter of time before some areas were underwater, forcing a voluntary evacuation for residents by the creek.
On that tree over there, it says, you got 10 feet. It's been there for a long time. It's not going up.
Longtime Rio Linda resident Steve Yaden hopes it doesn't get worse, especially after seeing his neighbor's camper already underwater.
Many Rio Linda residents say this isn't their first time being in a flood. In fact, they've seen many floods. Steve Yaden says in 1997, he learned his lesson.
It had 3 or 4 feet of water in it back in '97. We had to remodel the whole thing.
$20,000 later, he rebuilt his new home. He raised it 5 feet above ground.
I got 9 steps in the back and 8 in the front, so it won't flood.
We are talking Labor Day brunch specials at Crawdads. No better place to be. So much fun here. If you haven't been here, this is what the place looks like. And yes, I finally got my mimosa. Here it is right here. We'll let you inside if you keep it here. We'll tell you what's going on. We'll check out some awesome food as well, too. It's Crawdads for Labor Day.
We're about to ride the Tornado, which is right behind us. And Chester has a camera. We have Paul with us right now, who is live streaming. And we also have Julian, too.
Hi, Julian. Okay, I've got everyone.
Oh, gosh, sorry, guys.
Everyone's getting on the ride.
Also, it's free to come here, you guys, which is like the most amazing thing about it. Just bring your cash for all the food and everything else, and it's $5 for parking. And this is just something that everyone at Elk Grove does. I grew up going here. It's just a lot of fun. And I know you guys have been having fun, too, all day, right?
We have.
That was Paul's live. This thing will stop, I'll love it even more.
So he's live.
This is crazy.
We're living each other. We're live. So we're live in the studio on Facebook, we're live on television, and we're live on Paul's. We're all over the place. Watch me, everybody.
Bye, guys.